Hello, everybody. How has your days been? Oh, the echo, of course, of course. I keep forgetting. How is our day? What have been you all good now? Live Genshin fun. What's up, everybody? Oh my goodness. I think at a certain point, my brain has just been fried, and I'm just out here making another day. Am I wearing pants today? Who knows? Who knows? Oh my goodness! It is so absurdly. It has been absurdly hot. It's gotten much better. All right, it's gotten much better. Much more manageable, and I feel like I can breathe again. I feel like my brain can function normally. No AC here, Esther. I don't get paid enough. I don't get paid enough to use AC. Nowadays is much better. Let me see. Let's see what degrees it is outside. Outside is better than inside. 23. Outside is better than inside. Inside, right here in my room, it feels around like 26, 27. Feels like I'm getting cooked. Kind of. Slow roast. But outside feels nice. 23. Have my window open a little bit. Have some breeze coming in. Last week it was like 32. Outside or something, my room was like a solid 38 to 40. It's insane. I'm telling you guys, it's insane. But I'm alive. I'm doing good. So welcome. While everybody's getting settled. Today, we're going to be making... First time, a tier list. We're all gonna be contributing. Well, in a way, I will be kind of like our. Well, who am I kidding? I'm gonna veto everyone's decision. Kaching's gonna be SS tier. Ganyu's gonna be B tier, and we're gonna get canceled. I'm kidding, of course. I'm kidding. I'm gonna make a full-fledged tier list. I don't know. I actually don't know if people have the stuff ready. If not, we're just gonna do it ourselves. Yeah, we're gonna make a tier list because I actually been getting a lot of questions, couple DMs. People are very curious, and some of them are newer players who come across my channel. They're like, "Hey, Walrus, I see some videos," and you know, it's gotten to the point where people are actually very nervous to ask which character is good, which character is worth pulling for, which character, because people actually attack them for saying like, oh, like why do you need other people to tell you, don't listen to tier lists don't matter, and then they get attacked, so that they don't feel comfortable sometimes leaving these comments publicly, because they do get attacked, and it's weird. I mean, that's why in my old video just now, I made it very clear saying, hey guys, please don't attack other people just because other people want to know who's the best character for them to invest in or pour resources into or to wait for banner for. Doesn't mean, they're not having fun. Maybe that's just their way of having fun. And it sucks. It sucks that the community is attacking a lot of these people, saying like, oh, play who you like, play who you want. But they don't know who they like or who they want. They just want to play somebody who's strong. They want to play somebody knowing that the resources put into these characters are going to be worth it, are going to be good, are going to be taking them really far into the game, right? It sounds like there's just two different ways of playing the game, and you know, there's been some conflict. So today, to answer these questions for a lot of these newer players who started within the past month or with the past 2 months, hopefully this tier list is going to encompass every single character starting from patch 1.0 all the way currently for patch 1.6, including Kazuha. Okay? and it's gonna be based on my opinion, and you guys are gonna be here too, overseeing the process. And I feel like I am qualified in making this because I do have every single character. I have built up all the characters and I've played them. Wait, no, not this one. So yeah, I have everybody. I played them. I tested them. Some have more constellation than others. I've made guides for almost every single one of these characters, except for some of the lower ones. Don't think I've really made guides for Lisa, but I have experience with all these characters. I've at the very least I've built them into teams to try out synergies and whatnot, and I do know roughly where they fall in power level and how far they will likely take you if you put in a decent amount of investment. Okay. So that is what we're going to be doing today. And I'm going to try my best to be fair and include mobile players. Because I feel like a lot of the times when people make tier lists, they don't care about mobile players. They talk about it like PC players. So for example, a character such as Ganyu, depending on your experience on mobile and how comfortable you are with aiming shots on mobile versus your ping versus you know, if you're on PC, she actually might be very different. Some people might be like, oh, you know, I don't have any problems on mobile players, but it's important to know and tell people, hey, if you're on mobile, do beware of these issues you may encounter with this character. Not that you will. Some people will be like, hey, Ganyu is fire. I don't care. I actually really like how she plays on mobile. I don't have a problem with it. And then there's another, you know, there's another kid that might be like, holy smokes, I can't play anything that isn't Zhongli or Venti on mobile because literally my phone starts burning, my hands are getting scorched, and I got sweat dripping off my thumbs. And it's like, you know, who knows? Everybody is different. So that's what we're gonna do today, all right? And I hope you guys are excited because I actually very rarely make tier lists. I actually don't really talk about tier lists. I tried my best to stray away from them, but it's recently, I don't know why. Have you guys been knowing newer players have been joining the game? I actually don't know why. One moment here, let me just turn on my webcam. I was just saying, newer players are joining the game, which is a good thing. I love to see it. And I do think, in a way, it's that Inazuma is coming up soon, and currently it's summertime. A lot of people have a lot of free time, right? People have free time. People have more free time, and they want to pick up something, they want to play something, and they've been hearing about this thing about Genshin Impact, so they're joining the game. That's great news. So, to help out in the spirit of helping out, that's why we're gonna make a tier list. Let's take a look. I don't think they have it. We're currently in 1.6. I don't think anybody has. Let me see. Okay, I think they do have it here. Did it have them all? Kind of scuffed, but I think this one has it all. Here, I'll show you guys. We're on the tier list maker, okay? Alright, this one, it seems like they have it all. Yes. So we're gonna skip these two because they're not out yet. We got this one. Skip. Got this one, skip. This one, skip. We got this one, skip. This one. This is the same traveler, but we're gonna skip. Got this one. This one. We gotta skip that one. Skip. This one. Skip, and this one. Okay. So alright. This is what we're gonna be doing. I'm gonna tell you guys exactly why I am gonna be ranking certain characters in certain positions. All right, it's I'm gonna give you guys reasons why I think they deserve certain spots, and it's not gonna be perfect. I think in the end, this might be a longer video. I don't know. I want to keep it under 15 minutes. I'm gonna do my best to try to keep it under 15 minutes. All right. Woo. Let's see. Any questions? I'll take questions now. Got some water here prepared. Yeah, this is for a video, Esther. We're making a video. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. We got a lot of new faces here. There's a lot of people who recently... Do costumes affect ranking? No. Costumes do not affect ranking. Costumes do not affect ranking. Flair Liu says, I like your water bottle. Actually, this water bottle isn't even mine. It's my girlfriend's. Shit, I just pretty much steal everything that she owns that I like or I need, and I use it, and I don't give it back. Is it individual tier list or keep in mind viable team comps? Availability is also important. One of the main criterias how I rank characters is how many characters this particular character can work with. So in a way, support characters are going to be better, but hey, guess what? That's actually true if we're talking about meta. Support characters are better. So actually, because when you spend or when you pull for a character, you want this character to last. It's like when you're buying a product in real life, when you're buying any sort of product, you want this product to last. You want this product to be effective. You want this product to have high quality, essentially, right? So yes, how easy they slot into certain teams are going to matter. And trust me, as we do this tier list, maybe we'll go back and revisit, be like, okay, maybe Barbara is not a C tier, maybe Barbara is a B tier because of blah, 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 okay? And this is going to be strictly speaking 1.6 currently in the current game state, where we are at, how these characters do, and I'm going to take into consideration the future Abyss rebalance. I'm going to take into future just things that will change. For example, we can't really solely balance them around Abyss because Abyss is ever changing, right? It's going to be difficult, but they're all going to be compared in relations to each other as well. Yeah. Is free to play viability affecting the tier list? Of course, because I have all of these characters. I've analyzed all of their constellations as well. So for example, a 4-star character that unlocks itself at constellation 6, is that really viable, right? We're not measuring their powers at constellation 6. We're measuring their powers as a unit. That's how available they are. For example, a good one is Noelle. She is superb at Constellation 6. She feels great, but until you get her to Constellation 6, she does feel a little on the weaker side. So due to that, and the heavy amount of investment it takes to unlock her, I'm going to probably bump her down a little on the list. And I'll explain all this stuff, okay? I'll explain all this stuff. So, just letting you guys know, this tier list is going to be for free-to-play players and including small dolphins. All right, we're not talking about whales, because if we're talking full C6, this tier list can just go out the window, because I'm making this tier list strictly for free-to-play players or small spenders who are really stuck on which character they want to invest in or which banner reruns they want to look forward to. It's more for beginners. So people, if you're in chat right now, you're experienced in the game, and you see people asking questions and I'm too busy with the tier list and explanations, maybe you can help some people out. Like I said, I've been noticing a lot of newer players asking a lot of these questions, hence why I even decided to make a tier list for newer players. All right, so that's gonna be that. Let me just frame it a little better. And we're about to get started here real soon, okay? One moment. Let me readjust chat a little bit so you guys are here, all right? So I'm kind of on the bottom left here on your screen, and you guys are all sitting on the right side. we're gonna do this right. We're gonna make this. We're gonna help out the newer players. All right, we're gonna help out the newer players. No leaks. No leaks. Maybe you'll see certain characters on this list, but we're gonna skip all characters that are not currently released. People, if there's one thing you need to understand about me is I don't talk about things I don't know. Okay, I don't talk about things I don't know. All these lead characters, it doesn't matter like if we have all the testing, all the numbers, we don't know about them. There's no application, there's no proper testing done. We're not gonna, we're not gonna. Yeah, maybe we'll throw Dainsleif up there because as you guys know, I already made a Dainsleif guide. Okay, so you guys ready? Because I'm ready. Let's start recording. We're gonna do our intro. You guys can say hi YouTube, bye YouTube, mom, I'm famous, whatever you guys want. All right, we're gonna do this together. 3, 2, 1, and we're live. We're live. Sup, flappers. So I was just briefing chat over here. Chat over here this way. Or this way. One of these ways. I was just briefing chat here. We're doing a tier list. And now this tier list is going to be for the newer player base. Because I've been receiving a lot of DMs. I've gotten people in comments asking like, hey, I'm newer to the game. Who should I be investing in? Is there a banner I should be waiting for? And there's a ton of questions. And people are also attacking some of these players. Like, play who you want. Play who you like. But at the end of the day, if it were that easy, none of these tier lists would have ever gotten any traction to begin with. There's a group of players who want to make it feel that the investment they're putting into this game, the characters they're leveling up, are good characters or characters that that has longevity in the game or are already very well known to be powerful units. Nobody wants to be building up units that they know are going to be completely obsolete in a couple months. So now I'm here making a tier list with all Genshin characters up until patch 1.6. Now, you're going to see a lot of faces that are not released yet, and yes, we were not going to talk about this. I just found this on Tier List Maker. I didn't make this. It's just on the Tier List Maker, so we're going to use this, but we're going to skip over all characters that are not currently released. So, I am a player who's been playing this game since September 28th, 2020. So day one since the game released, I currently own every single character in the game. I've played every single character in the game. So why am I telling you this? It's just to let you know I am credible. I know what I'm talking about. I've actually made guide videos for, I would say, 80% to 85% of all the characters in the game. I tested them. I have C6 almost all of my 4 stars except for some of the free-to-plays. So I know what I'm talking about. I will try my best to include mobile players into this tier list, meaning that I don't want to just talk about this from a PC player perspective because I think that is quite biased and it's not going to be as accurate. All right. So with all that said, we have chat here. If you're curious, I'm sure we're going to butt heads at some point, but that's just part of the reason I'm doing this on a live stream. So I have all these people here who can hold me to a certain standard, and I'm not just talking out of my ass. Okay. Without further ado, I think it's time for us to get started. I'm going to give you guys quick explanations as to why I think certain characters belong in certain places. Okay? First and foremost, let's just start with a character we are all forced to play. Well, some more happily than others, and that is the main MC. So, with the main MC, I'm going to start us off right now on the right foot, and I think the main MC is A tier. So if you disagree with this, I would argue that the main MC eventually will become stronger and stronger and better as the game gets further. So if we're talking about investment, if we're talking about building them up, the main MC is probably going to be one of the units that you are going to be holding on to for a very long time. You get him or her to C6 pretty much free. You just have to play the game, and eventually they will be of every single element as well. And currently the Geo MC actually has an abundance of usage and combos that are available and makes the game extremely versatile and fun. And a lot of people actually have him dedicated in their teams, especially running it with Zhongli. Insane output, and definitely someone that you can invest in and know that as the games develop, this character will likely still stay within meta just because of being able to change into different elements as different regions are released. Okay, so I do think that the MC is a solid A tier unit. Some people might knock them down to the B tier, but currently, from what I've seen, it's just really good, really solid, and it's free. You get free C6. What's not to love? All right, moving on to Albedo. Now, Albedo is it's a slightly weird unit, and a lot of people actually don't have Albedo. He's one of the, during his banner, people used to meme saying like he wasn't even worth being called a 5-star, and as miHoYo put Bennett on his banner, people were going for Bennett more than they were going for Albedo. But I do think Albedo, in the end of the day, is also an A tier unit. He is a support DPS character through and through. You can't really build him as a main DPS. You could, but he's not as viable. And you can't really build him as a support either, because he just gets overshadowed by so many other powerful support units. So at the end of the day, he falls into this one role, support DPS, but he does it really well. He does do it very, very well. And with crystallizing reaction, you actually bring quite a bit of hybrid defense and offense into the team, and he actually can do decent damage with his burst skill as well. However, he doesn't really scratch. I would say he's low A tier and really high B tier and low A tier, but I'll keep him in A tier just because that support DPS are quite rare, especially for complete off-field support DPS, alright? Albedo, especially for mobile players, is a no-brainer. This guy, you just literally drop his elemental skill and you switch to your main DPS and you smack booty cheeks all day, alright? Albedo is great. However, definitely is not a top tier unit, and I really wouldn't suggest you saving a lot of Primo Gems to hunt him on his rerun banners. That being said, let's move on to Amber, alright? I didn't know we were gonna jump so fast into this controversial unit, but if we're realistically speaking, okay, this tier list is what is the standard for this tier list? It's all in relation to each other. I'm not gonna milk this any longer. She's a D tier unit. Okay, it's no secret, because first of all, she's a bow character, and for mobile players, I know a lot of mobile players are okay with aiming and stuff like that, but a lot of mobile players really don't like that. And her being a bow character and her being completely undertuned is also it's also just, it just makes your life a lot more difficult than it has to be. I'm gonna be honest. Did I give her a fair chance and I tried her out? I didn't level her past the level 60, I believe, Ascension 4 to get her full kit. And I already noticed a huge gap in power even with other 4-star characters. She is undertuned, and let me tell you, Amber, along with some of the other characters on this list, also suffers from a fact is that you actually can't get her constellations. I don't know why people don't talk about this enough. These characters don't have raid ups on banners. miHoYo don't put them on banner raid ups. So guess what? If you want to really play her at full potential C6, chances are $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 ain't gonna even cut it. So it's one thing to be underpowered due to your kit and design. It's another thing to not even be able to hit your full power, simply because your constellations are not available. It's very difficult. So that's why Amber is sitting in D tier, and I think it's fair. Okay, I think it's fair. I think very few people are gonna disagree with this. So let's move on. All right, Barbara. Oh, I didn't mean to drop that there. Sorry. Hold up. Barbara. Okay, this is a character that I think everybody gets for free. I've played with her before. I'm sure a lot of people have played with her before. Is she good? She's okay. Is she bad? I wouldn't say really she's bad. All right, but Barbara is one of those units that that you quickly grow out of very fast. If you're watching this video right now and you're a newer player, chances are Barbara's in your team, and there's no problem with that. However, with the current rosters of characters and with what her position is, which is a healer, Barbara has it's just she doesn't really stack up. She doesn't stack up with a lot of these other available units in what they do. And you'll quickly start to see later as we get to some of the other healers why Barbara gets phased out of the game so quick. And also has to do with that MiHoYo doesn't like healers. MiHoYo doesn't like healing as much as they like buffing, alright? More damage. If the enemies dies quicker, it means you don't have to heal as much. So there's really not an emphasis on healer. I'm talking about this as a current meta situation in patch 1.6. Healers do suffer a bit if all they do is healing. Okay? So let us move on to Beidou. Oh boy. Let me tell you about Beidou, okay? Beidou is one of these characters is she can be a low S tier all the way to a high B tier depending on how good you are with this character. Listen, chat, don't flame yet. Don't flame yet. I'm telling you right now, I've seen some Beidou players who puts my Hu Tao's DPS to shame. But I've also seen some Beidou players who literally makes her look like a glorified Mita churl. You know what I mean? Her mechanics is counter. It's kind of like Meliodas. You have to find the timing, and there are different timings to her counter. It's so meticulous, yet it's high ceiling character. All right. So with that being said, her being low S tier for good players and high B tier for bad players, I'm gonna drop her in A tier because that's the middle. That's the middle of where Beidou sits. Really high skill ceiling, very rare actually. I'm gonna say very rare currently in the state of Genshin Impact. Her kit, her counter mechanic is one of the most unique character mechanics currently available in Genshin Impact, and the merits of being good at doing what she does is very rewarding. The biggest downside for Beidou is that her burst skill costs way too much, and I don't know, man. Will I have her in S tier if her burst was better? Maybe. Just because then she will offer great defensive capabilities as well. But she might be high A tier. Actually, let's move this around a little bit. Like this. Alright, this is the current tier list. So we're gonna... This placement also matters, alright? She's above the MC, but I would say below Albedo when it comes to performance and value. Okay? So... Okay, Bennett. If you don't know what Bennett does, Bennett is a healer, but he's also a buffer. Okay, so this is where we talk about the conversation when I was talking about Barbara being just a pure healer. Bennett not only heals you, he also buffs your damage. He amplifies your damage. And I struggle to say a single team that cannot benefit from Bennett's existence. It's almost like you can slap him into every team. He can fill 4 roles as well if you really want to. He can be a main DPS. Yes, he can be a quick swap support DPS if you really wanted to. He definitely can be a healer, which is his most popular position. And of course, he can be just a pure on support. So Bennett, S tier unit. I don't think there's anything more we need to say. Right now, currently, Bennett is available on Banner, and I know a lot of people are going for him. So if you're a newer player currently playing the game, you don't have Bennett, pull for him on this banner. If you end up getting Kazuha, don't fret. We'll talk about Kazuha later, alright? So, moving into the next unit, we have Childe, our boy Tartaglia. Childe is one of those characters, he was released earlier into the game, and he currently has a constellation tree that is very confusing to some people. Others, when you understand what he does in the game, you start to realize his constellations makes more sense, alright? But Childe, my friend, suffers from a condition called partial on-field syndrome, meaning Childe, you want him to be constantly on field, but it's just not what he does. While he is a great hydro applicator, one of the best, if not the best hydro applicator currently available in the game, he struggles to scrape anything more than I would say mid to low A tier. Better than Beidou, lower than Beidou. I'd say higher than Beidou, just because he has a higher damage threshold and he has options of vaporize reaction. So he sits above Beidou. I don't know if he goes above Albedo. I would put him above Albedo. To be honest, I would put him above Albedo just because Child does have that vaporize. He has great freeze combo synergies as well. So him sitting at a pretty like mid-high A tier unit, but you have to understand how he works. So if you're a newer player, I don't really suggest you picking up Child, because when it comes to synergy, he doesn't have as many synergies as you would think he does. So unlike Bennett, who literally has all the synergy in the game, Child, not so much, alright? But a solid unit, if you do have him, he's gonna serve you well. Especially if you pair him with a couple of the other units I will be talking about later, alright? Chongyun. Okay, Chongyun is a unit that, I'm gonna be honest with you, I used to play Chongyun quite a bit, but currently I find that, of course, with cryo units being so abundant in the game, Chongyun just feels like he's been phased out quite a bit. Really. He used to be really a top premier cryo option, but now with characters like Ganyu, we got characters like Eula, and we're about to get new cryo characters as well. We even have Rosaria. It just feels like his kit feels more chunky, and his elemental skill limits the amount of synergy he can actually have with certain characters. But that being said, Chongyun just being cryo is still a solid unit for beginners players. If you do have him, he's gonna be great to pair with certain units, such as Diluc. We're about to get the Diluc, so I think he's a B tier. Chongyun, I don't know. If MiHoYo decided to make some changes or change some certain characters, I think Chongyun should be on that list. Just my opinion, okay? B tier, mid B tier, I would say. Diluc. Okay. Diluc, my friend, is I'm sure you've all heard of him. He is a very popular DPS unit. He's Pyro, Claymore, a very strong unit, although currently with the newer Pyro characters that MiHoYo has released, Diluc has fallen slightly down the tier list when it comes to DPS potential. However, we are talking seconds in clear time. Seconds. Single digit seconds comparatively to other DPS options, Pyro DPS options. So I hesitate to put Diluc in S tier just because currently DPS units are just way too abundant. There's so many good DPS units. Like, I would struggle to even, like, Kazuha, who just got released, is a solid DPS options. I think Diluc has been dethroned from the S tier as newer characters are about to get released as well in the next patch, and current available DPS units. He's still really solid. If you have Diluc, trust me, he'll be enough to carry you through everything currently available in the game without much hassle. Alright? But he is no longer an S tier unit. I think he is a high A tier unit, definitely up there. One of the best A tier units currently in the game. Still one of the best DPS options in the game, just not cresting into that S tier anymore. Now Diona. Holy smokes. Diona has single-handedly solved so many issues for team composition and combos. So I was about to throw Diona up in S, but I'm just thinking, realistically speaking, Diona requires some consolations to get rolling, but just the things she can open up to certain teams, especially in Abyss, in our current meta, I see chat spamming S, and I do think so. I think she is like low S tier, and it's just, it's the shield. The shield. It's too good, right? It's too good, and the synergies are just all there. Cryo units are some of the best units currently in the game. And of course, with her having been on many banners, as well as we getting free as well as us getting a free copy of Diona. She is gonna be C6 for a couple people, even free-to-play players who happen to have summoned on a banner that she was on, probably have her at high constellations. And Diona C2 in co-op play is, holy smokes, it is so satisfying. It's so nice to have a Diona if you're co-oping at Constellation 2. She shields for everybody. So I guess, yeah, it's unfair to put her into A tier. She is an S tier unit. She has solved so many problems for a lot of my budget Abyss teams, and she pretty much is the highlight in almost all of the teams she's in. Amazing unit. If you do have a chance, definitely snag her up. If you have Bennett and if you have Diona, you're gonna have almost no problems through any Abyss iterations, okay? Solid unit, both 4 stars. Now, we got Eula, one of the newer characters. Eula, when it comes to people, I think she had mixed responses between people. Some say she just didn't have a role in the game and that she was only viable because Abyss made her viable, right? The changes. And now, but I do think that Eula is currently our premier burst main DPS unit. Is she, you know, insane? Is she otherworldly, meta changing? No, not really. I think Eula is one of the cases that miHoYo actually balanced the character really well, but because we are still really used to characters being strong, like excessively strong, like Hu Tao, like Ganyu, right? I think Eula had a lot of bad press and got a lot of unwanted negativity just because she wasn't broken. She's balanced. So now the question is she better than Diluc? I'm gonna say no. I put her below Diluc, but above Childe. She is a high A tier unit, solid DPS unit. Should you chase her for her banner reruns? I don't think so. I think there are going to be some better options available for you to chase. So with that said, let us just move on. I just want to say Eula's a great character, solid, well balanced, good design, high A tier. Okay. Now we have Fischl. Fischl is another one of those characters which I have been advocating for people to play her for a very long time. Of course, she's not underrated by any means. She's very solid. I think a lot of the older players knows how broken Fischl is. Especially people who played her back when the game just came out, and she was literally one of the premier. She was an S tier unit back then. Not anymore though. I feel like Fischl sits even above Albedo. Come on. Fischl sits above Albedo, maybe even above Childe, just because of her application. Fischl's application is no joke. She can be main DPS, she can be support DPS, and she can be a pure support, electro applicator support, right? So just because of the amount of roles she can fit into and how easy it is to get her constellations, I do think she sits also in high A tier, even better than Childe. Fischl fits in more teams than Childe could, and at times Fischl is gonna be more valuable to you than Childe could. All right, so this tier list is not about how much damage. This is not a DPS tier list, as you can see. We got 2 4-stars support units up in the S tier. This is really practicality. How and which character you can pull to beef up your team for more longevity in this game. All right, Fischl, solid, high A tier. Okay, next you. I'm kidding. I'll explain. Ganyu is an S tier. Ganyu is definitely an S tier unit. Okay, maybe even above Diona. Ganyu is above Diona. Ganyu, main DPS, solid. That's what she's known for. Everybody says she's a main DPS. But let me tell you guys, if you're new to this channel, if you've never seen me play Ganyu, I play her more as a support DPS or just a straight up support. People oftentimes forget she can have 100% burst uptime. How broken is that? How broken is that? Do you guys see how big and how effective her burst skill is? That burst skill, the ice shower, can have 100% uptime. And as well, her being a support DPS, you just pop one of her charge shots, or you use E, her elemental skill, to taunt enemies while also applying cryo. It's insane. Ganyu is just one of the best units available. She does suffer from people having to aim with her on mobile, especially with high ping. However, I do think you can play around that just by simply putting her into the support DPS position or the support position. And let me tell you, she rocks the world in all of these positions. She's really squishy though, so usually I pair her with Diona or Zhongli on the team just to have hassle-free performance. But oh man, if you can save up for a unit, save up for Ganyu, because main DPS will get power crept, but because Ganyu fits support DPS and support just as well as her being in the main DPS, I find it very difficult to ever phase Ganyu out of the meta. Too good. Best cryo applicator in game, best current DPS in game, best constellations in game. What more do you want from a unit? What more do you want from a unit? She is superb. Amazing. Hu Tao. Okay. Hu Tao is I play Hu Tao a lot. She's actually one of my main characters. I put in hours into Hu Tao, and I do think that currently Hu Tao sits definitely above Diluc. Hu Tao is 100% above Diluc, and since Diluc is already cresting at the tip of the A tier, I do think Hu Tao is gonna be like a mid S tier, maybe low mid S tier. Better than Diona because actually it should look something like okay, something like this. Okay, Hu Tao sits below Ganyu just because I think Ganyu fits 3 roles. All right, I think I'm emphasizing this enough. Am I not? Ganyu fits 3 roles. Hu Tao is a superb DPS. People say she's a single target DPS, but I would argue that, especially with Kazuha now available. It opens up Hu Tao skewering. If you don't know what Hu Tao skewering is, it's basically she pierces through all the enemies, especially with Kazuha bunching them up. Options. Really fun. Top tier DPS character. If you're pulling for Hu Tao, you're pulling for a DPS character through and through. Okay, just understand that. So that's all she does. She's a DPS. There's nothing else she does, and really solid. I think her pairings with Child is one of the best and most satisfying things I like to play in the game. And what more can I say? I think that's all I need to say for Hu Tao. Moving on to Jean. I really just want to throw her in D tier and move on because I hate this character so much. She has spoofed me on every single one of the banners that I wanted. But I'm gonna be real with you guys. Jean is a solid character. Her cleanse is it's so good. It's so good. I can't deny the fact that Jean is especially the more you play her, the more you utilize her, you just start to realize how good of a unit, how well-rounded this unit is. There are certain mechanics to her kit, especially with her Gale Wind or Gale Force, her elemental skill, where she pulls units in and she can launch them upwards, and when they fall back down, they take percentage HP fall damage. It's just a mechanic that is solely available to Jean, so I'll put her at a high A tier. I think she is sitting above Eula. It's better for you to pick up a Jean than for you to pick up a Eula, simply because there are so many DPS options, and you're going to start to see, with a few exceptions to this tier list, that a lot of support units are going to be higher up on the tier list, just because Genshin Impact is a game where you don't only rely on one unit, alright? You need a full team to make the best out of your units. So Jean sits at a high A. Still sitting below Diluc, in my opinion. I think Diluc is he's just that good. Alright? Moving onwards, who do we have? Ah, yes, Kaya. Kaya, I think, gets a lot of slack, gets a lot of crap, just because he's a free character. I think Kaya actually is an A tier unit. I would struggle to put him above the main MC. He's like somewhere around low A tier. He's really solid. People, listen. I will put him above the Traveler because Kaya is one of those units that most people would never give him the opportunity. We all have Kaya. However, he also suffers from the fact that you're never going to get him the Constellation 6 unless you literally spend tens of thousands of dollars on this game. Kaya's constellations are pretty much locked away, and people who do play him, you'll be lucky to get C1 or C2 with Kaya. So he is mostly a main DPS and sometimes a support DPS as well. He has great cryo application with his burst skill, which sets you up for a lot of great combos and availability, freeze teams, melt teams. Kaya has a great overall kit, and it just feels like, you know, he's not given a chance by most people just because he's free, and it feels cheap to play a free character. I don't know, chat. You guys can tell me if that's the case. I feel like there's this whole mentality going around being like, hey, if it's a free character, I'm not going to play them because it feels cheap. I'm going to play these banner characters. But let me tell you, a lot of people are sleeping on Kaya. Not get your mind out of the gutter. Not like that. But they're sleeping on how good he is. Okay? So if you are struggling with the main DPS currently as a newer player or free-to-play player, you don't have any of these premier DPS, but you do have Kaya, give him a chance. He's good. He's really good. All right? Kazuha. Okay. Our man Kazuha, the newest unit in the game, high A tier. High A tier. I'm gonna tell you guys this right now. He can be a main DPS. He can be a support DPS. He can be a support. He already fits 3 roles in this category. He's not S tier for sure. While I tried. I thought about this a lot. Does Kazuha deserve a low S tier? No. He got that S tier drip though. But when it comes to playstyle performance, Kazuha sits in a high A tier. I do think he's better than Diluc. Better than all of these characters that currently are in A tier. He does a couple things really, really well. But in the end, I do think that he will suffer greatly just because he doesn't do that one thing really, really well. You know what I mean? He does a bit of everything, but of course, if you're doing a bit of everything, MiHoYo is going to make sure that you're not the best at any of them. And for people for people who have seen my most recent video, I said he's kind of like a spork, right? A fork and a spoon kind of mixed together, a spork. He's not as spoon as a spoon, but he's not as fork as a fork either. He's a spork. He's kind of sitting in the middle, and for the people who likes this kind of playstyle, this kind of efficiency in character design, he's great, right? But apart from that, if you're looking for a spoon, why the hell wouldn't you just go get a spoon? If all you care about is wanting a spoon, you're trying to drink a soup, you're not going to get a spork to drink a soup. So that's what I said. All right, I don't know if that makes any sense. Still really good character, but maybe not the top priority. Keqing. I'm going to try to not be biased here. She is my favorite unit overall. She's a great character. She has 2 builds. You can build her. But I think mid A tier, low to mid A tier is as high as she's going to get. Maybe somewhere around here. I don't know if people are going to be upset saying like, oh, how can Keqing be above Childe? But let's be honest here. Childe is a character that pairs really well with like 3 units, 4 units in the game. Maybe. Okay, maybe 5. But Keqing, she has 2 different builds. If you have Keqing, you can farm different domains. You can build her physical DPS, which means she has options to different weapons as well. So it's just easier to build Keqing. She's pretty cheap to build, very easy to play. I would say she has a very entry level difficulty to to playing her, and she has a relatively mid to higher skill ceiling to mastering her certain combos and rotations for highest DPS. She does suffer from the fact that she's Electro, and also physical DPS currently in the game is kind of weak as well, so she doesn't get really close to the top of the A tier. Her DPS is just not there, okay? So that's Keqing, a very mid unit. Then we have Klee. So Klee, I think, okay, this is where the fact you're playing on mobile and or what your ping is gonna start affecting your her placements. Klee, when played as like in her peak potential, can start to crest into the low S tier when it comes to DPS. All right, if you're fully utilizing every aspect of her kit, like you're a dedicated Klee main that spends 20 minutes every day before you even start playing the game to practice Klee mechanics, yes, she can be a low S tier, but for the vast majority of people, she's gonna be sitting really close to mid A tier, because you're not going to utilize that aspect of her kit. You're not going to be mastering all her mechanics. She's very difficult to master, very easy to play. Just the fact that she's a pyro unit, I want to say you're likely going to be really good with just having her. I'm struggling to think, like, she hovers around one of these slots. DPS wise, yes, she is higher than Deluxo though, so we're gonna put her towards the high A tier above Deluxe. She has good DPS. It's just she's a pain to play for some people. That's all I'm gonna say for her. Should you be chasing her? I don't think so. I don't think so. If you're waiting for a banner rerun, wait for a Hu Tao for a pyro DPS, or wait for Ganyu. Right? Klee really isn't something that you want to be actively hunting after for, if that makes sense. Lisa. Lisa is SSS tier in another tier list. A plus 18 tier list. But in this tier list, went for her utility and her playstyle, C tier. Okay? I'm sorry. Lisa is a C tier unit. Low C. I think she's lower than Barbara. She's just difficult to play. All right, she's clunky. Her elemental skill feels weird. She doesn't even have stutter resistance when she's doing her elemental skill, so you can get knocked around as well. I don't know what more I can say. Lisa is a free unit. If you have her, you can use her. If you don't really have anyone else, if you have a single copy of Fischl, just use Fischl. That's all I'm gonna say. Lisa, kind of, So, moving on. We got Mona, right? Yes. We got Mona. Okay. Mona, my man, my girl, is a unit that confuses a lot of people. So, why do I say she confuses a lot of people? Because there's a lot of things to her kit that MiHoYo doesn't even explain to you guys. Alright? There are certain internal timers with her ultimate ability is not explained very well in MiHoYo's explanation for her, and which leaves a lot to be designed when people play this character. And oftentimes you might even think, oh, she's B tier, she sucks, but she's okay. She's an enabler. She opens up possibilities for some of the highest DPS potentials in the game currently. I think she sits above Keqing when it comes to utility and how she serves your team and how she serves her purpose in the game. But she struggles to make it any higher on the list just because you don't really need what she offers. You honestly don't need what she offers because it's so excessive. It's so excessive and over the top that a lot of the times you can maybe spend the time for the setup that it takes to set up her burst skill into better synergies for your team to do, maybe not as big of a damage number, but you're still going to get that DPS anyways. All right? Yes, she works well in a couple freeze teams, but currently freeze teams are kind of like iffy. It's meta-wise, it's okay. I think it's like mid-tier meta-wise, but realistically speaking, You don't really need to hunt for Mona. If you get her, congratulations. There's a lot of people who want her, but if you don't have her, don't you're not going to be losing sleep over not having her. Is what I'm trying to say. Okay, Ningguang, another DPS unit, Geo DPS unit. I want to put Ningguang in mid A tier, below official. I would say above what's her name? Mona. Okay, Ningguang has options to some of the more bursty DPS in the game. A lot of DPS currently available in this game. Most of them are kind of like sustained high octane DPS, but Ningguang really is one of the first few burst DPS units we had in the game, and currently still sits at a very good spot. If we're talking about one phasing most bosses, Ningguang is your girl. I mean, most of these characters, if you're built enough, you can one phase all the weekly bosses. But Ningguang is pretty hassle free. She is easy to play for mobile players. She is Geo, so she can actually mine ores very easily. Actually, I didn't really talk about this a lot. If you have Ningguang in your team in the open world, she can mine ores very easily. And yeah, overall, I just think she's really good. Has good constellations as well, and has been known to make a couple banner appearances. I do think Ningguang probably is going to be making a banner appearance next month. To be honest, we haven't seen her for a while now. So yeah. Let's go move on to the next unit. Noelle. What do you guys want me to say about Noelle? Noelle is I would say I honestly want to put her in high C. I want to say high C or low B tier. It's just because certain, like, I mean, yes, she fulfills more than one role if we're strictly speaking her utility functions. But man, her constellations is kind of weird, and the demand for higher constellation is really there for Noelle if you really want to see high potential, like her a good potential for the investment that you're about to put into this character. Like if you want to play this character, so. You know what? I'm gonna drop her in low B tier just because I'm looking at the C tier and I don't think she belongs in C tier just because of some of the functions she has. She's a shielder. She offers great protection for your team if you're struggling with shielding characters. Like you don't have Diona, of course. You don't have Zhongli. You don't have who else is a shielder? You don't even have a Beidou. Yeah, her shield works really well, and yeah, let's just keep her in B tier. I think it's solid. Low B tier unit. If you can get her to Constellation 6, she can rock your world. Pun intended. So yeah, low B tier. Qiqi, I think, is probably one of the lower A tier units. I think above Kaya? Above or below Kaya? Qiqi is really low A tier. I think Qiqi, she does one thing too well. She does one thing that is not really relevant way too well. The amount of healing she gives for a team is just so excessive to the point where it's wasteful. You guys know what I mean? For people who don't have Qiqi, I used to play her a lot just because I didn't know how much damage certain character does, but nowadays, I've gotten a better feeling for how much damage I can take, how much damage my shields can tank. I phased her out of a lot of my teams. I started to use Diona over Qiqi just because while Diona heals less than Qiqi, her heals are still enough to get you through, but she also comes with a shield. And Qiqi just does too much healing. Okay, way too much. So, I think low A tier. Alright? I think low A tier. Honestly, I wouldn't prioritize her. She's currently probably the worst unit you can pull if when you're losing 50-50. That's all I'm going to say. Sad to be this way. I know. I don't want it to be this way. She's really cute. But really, if you get Qiqi and lose your 50-50 to Qiqi, that's a big rip. Alright, that's a big rip. Razor. Solid unit, physical DPS. Meta wise, he's okay. Not amazing, not spectacular, but he's there. He's doing fine. He definitely doesn't touch some of these other units when it comes to DPS potential. Do I want him? Do I even want to put him in A tier or he's in high B tier? I do think he's better than Chi-Chi, to be honest, especially for newer players or mid-game player. I do think he's better than Chi-Chi, so just because of that, I'm going to put him above Chi-Chi. Realistically speaking, okay? Because, honest to God, if you have Barbara, you probably don't even need Chi-Chi. Yes, Chi-Chi offers some... man, I'm starting to feel bad for Chi-Chi. I mean... Let me think. His DPS potential can even outrank Keqing, but the fact that he's too selfish as a carry. This is the thing. Razor is too selfish as a carry. And when you're playing Razor, he pretty much steals all the spotlight. You really have very little space to do pairings with him, and you're essentially forced to make Superconduct. So running a Diona with him is going to be really, really good. And surprisingly, you can also pair him with Chi-Chi, which also makes a good team. So Razor is like, I would say, a low A tier, just because he limits the types of teams that you can build when he's on your team. So in a way, he's kind of restricting. Okay? So solid, but I wouldn't say game breaking or too good. It's okay. All right, Sucrose. Oh no, we missed Rosaria. Rosaria is one of those other units that's really, really good, but I don't know. I would even put her above Child. Above or below Child. I think as an applicator, Rosaria is how should I put this? She's top tier, okay? For cryo units are some of the best characters in the game. They're the centerpiece to a lot of the best reactions in the game. That's what I'm saying, is that with cryo, you can open doors to a lot of the best synergies. You got freeze, melt, superconduct, and that's pretty much already top 3. One of the best debuff, if the only debuff in the game, the best offensive capability, which is melt, and you also have the best CC in the game, which is freeze. So having a good cryo applicator in the game is going to be good. I would highly suggest people to pick up Rosaria if she is available. Nudge, nudge. I think she currently is available. Am I wrong? Wait, is she available right now? Am I tripping? She is! Okay, so you see, she's currently available. So, really, really good unit. I do urge people to at least pick up a couple cryo units in the game. Diona, Rosaria, Ganyu, really good. Eula doesn't really count, to be honest. So, yeah, I'm going to keep it like this. Now we can move into Sucrose. I think Sucrose used to be, I would say, a high B, low A tier. Now she's really solid. She's really up there when it comes to enabling the rest of your team. Okay, let's just go with. I think she's definitely better than Ningguang. She's better than Fischl. I think. I want to put her to mid to higher A tier now. All right. So how should we put this? Sucrose. I think a lot of people are confused when it comes to elemental mastery and how it works. So Sucrose pretty much takes something that's already very strong, or takes something that's mediocre and moves them up a tier. All right. Sucrose moves people up a tier. She makes the strong stronger, and she takes the weak and makes them strong. All right? So, I do think when it comes to potential pairings is that Sucrose can pair with a lot of units in the game, and it's the same story with Kazuha. She she offers up capabilities for teams that otherwise wouldn't even work. Is also something that I think miHoYo's trying to push Anemo characters in this direction, and with current swirl buffs and changes, yeah, really really good. Okay, yeah, something like this. Okay, like that. Another S tier unit currently is Venti. He pretty much facilitates any team, almost any team. I used to say he kind of struggles a little bit with bosses, but with the recent swirl changes, that has completely gone out the window. His DPS ticking is completely insane. Just with a couple elements swirled together, he is there's nothing he doesn't do anymore. All right, so Venti is definitely one of these units that if his banner does make another rerun, or maybe if we're lucky and we get a choice in the anniversary for Genshin Impact, he's definitely one of those units you should really try to get at least one copy of, because it's just too good. Too good. Let's see, we got Xiangling. Xiangling, I would say, is somewhere around here as well. Mid A tier. Xiangling, a lot of people think of her as damage, but she's really an applicator. She's currently one of the only consistent pyro applicators in the game. She's really high up on the tier list. I would even put her like higher, like maybe like that, just because there's no alternative. Listen, there is no alternative to what Xiangling currently does. There's nobody who does that much pyro application. And what can I say? People just don't give her a chance as well because she's free. She's a free unit. Suffers the same fate as Kaeya. Okay? Moving on to Xiao. Okay, Xiao is not better than Kazuha. In my humblest opinion, Xiao isn't better than Kazuha, and Xiao is a single function carry, okay? Xiao is just a hyper carry. He serves one purpose. You can't really play him as a support DPS. You can't play him as a support. He is just a carry through and through. So that's one of the reasons why I don't put Xiao into the S tier. While he is really good at carrying, he has really good damage output. That's all he does. And if we're talking about characters that you should be investing in, you should be investing in characters that serves more than one purpose while also being a solid character. For example, let's just go back to Ganyu, right? Ganyu serves a purpose that is not just a main DPS. You can play her as a cryo applicator or a burst support DPS. The option is always there. Xiao, not so much. Okay, that's one of the reasons why he cannot be in the S tier. Just being a good DPS really isn't enough to crest you into the S tier, especially if you don't have access to Vaporize and Melt. That's for DPS, it's that simple, right? For supports, we look at other criteria, but for DPS, it's that simple. Too many. Xingqiu, I'm struggling. He's definitely high up here. He might be S, but not really. I wouldn't really say S tier because then you would say like, oh, would you rather have a Xingqiu over Xiao? Would you rather have a Xingqiu over Kazuha? I think Xingqiu gets pushed a little too hard when it comes to his potential. I do think he's definitely one of the highest A tier units though. I don't think he's S tier. Listen, chat, I'm sorry. I don't think he's S tier. He does one job really well. Yes, his support DPS capability is next to none. Probably the best in the game. I see chat really wants him to be S tier. Okay, we'll revisit this. We'll revisit all this in the end. We're gonna have to shift some people around into B tier and C tier. We're gonna have to shift this. So don't worry. We're gonna come back. We will talk about this later, and we're gonna see whether he deserves to be an S tier or he, because he's already the best A tier unit. All right. We'll talk about this later. We'll talk about this later. We're gonna finish the rest of the units. We're almost done here. Jinyan is she's a B tier unit. I don't think she's better than okay, she does have a shield. Okay, she is better than Chongyun because just because she does have a shield in her kit, she has some levels of pyro application. And for people who are interested in playing her, she has physical DPS capability. But at the same time, that's also her biggest downfall, is because she doesn't have an identity. She is she a pyro applicator, or is she a physical main DPS carry, or is she a pyro support DPS, or can be a burst support DPS? It's really up in the air. What is she trying to do? Like, what is MiHoYo trying to do with this character? There's so much here, but it's all really, really mid-tier to low, like to bad, right? Maybe tweak her shield to make it a little better. But however, Jinyan functions, she peaks at Constellation 2. Unlike Noelle, who peaks at Constellation 6, Jinyan peaks at Constellation 2. If you have Jinyan at Constellation 2, she starts to become viable. She starts to become very good. But, hey, very good doesn't really cut it when a lot of these characters are superb, alright? So, definitely Jinyan is going to be on the low end. Sorry, my Jinyan fans, but that's just how it is. Now we have Yanfei. Yes, she's a DPS unit, but I have said many times before, if you want her to start competing with some of the other Pyro DPS units, you need to have her at Constellation 4. So, pretty steep investment, to be completely honest with you guys. I wouldn't really pour that much into Jinyan, although she is a combo character. Very fun, satisfying to play if you enjoy that 1-2 punch kind of play style. But just because the pyro DPS category is so competitive, and she doesn't really do pyro application like Xiangling, so she's actually pretty low in my opinion. Like, I don't know. She if Klee didn't exist, if Hu Tao didn't exist, she would be really, really solid. She would be really, really good. But because those characters exist, I wouldn't suggest you guys waste your resources into chasing Yanfei too much. Somewhere around here. Don't worry, we're gonna finalize this tier list in the end. Right now, we're just kind of rough ins. We're roughing in characters. Maybe positions are gonna change. Okay. What can I say? The man himself. Zhongli above Venti, below Venti, above Venti, below Venti. I mean, their places can interchange. I used to have Zhongli always above Venti, but currently Venti just does. MiHoYo kind of plugged up Venti's biggest weakness, and which was dealing with bosses, dealing with single target units. But now they plugged that. However, I do think Zhongli, especially for free-to-play players, especially for newer players, I do think Zhongli is just too easy. Like, it's just so easy to get him and use him to full potential. You don't need artifacts for his shield to start shredding the percentage, right? It's a fixed percentage shred for all resistances. You don't need artifacts for that. It's too easy. It's too easy. So yeah, I think it's still a no-brainer. I would even put him above Bennett. It's just, he fits in every single team. Every single team. I think he's currently the best unit in the game. What was MiHoYo thinking? But yeah, okay. So now I think we have every single character slotted. We can now start shifting things around. I think, yeah, A tier seems pretty crowded. A tier seems pretty crowded. We might have to move a couple down. Maybe move Chi-Chi down. Razor down. Let's take a look at A tier here. I want to put Ningguang like this. Xiangling. Okay, Xingqiu S. All right, I think yes, he's really good. I think he can even double in some teams as a support DPS and even a healer, damage mitigation as well. Yes, I wasn't really thinking about that aspect of his kit. So yeah, I'm okay with. I wouldn't, argue too much about him being an SA. I think he definitely deserves it, and especially with the support DPS position being so limited, and yeah. And him single-handedly opening doors to certain pyro synergies is also really good. And for that reason, I want to move Albedo up as well. I do want to move Albedo up. I think Albedo is probably around here. It was difficult because Albedo was one of the first units, but I do think Albedo beats out all of these units just because Albedo offers something that almost nobody else has. He's like he's pretty much like the only character that does what he does, apart from Xingqiu, right? It's so niche and unique. So that's why I think he deserves this position. Overall, I think this will be a solid list. I would even bump her down a little bit. Yeah, I think this is going to be it. I see some people wanting Xiao to be up in the S tier, but people remember, currently, the S tier units all do something that's either A, irreplaceable and only this character can do, or B, they do the one thing that they do so damn well that no one else even comes close. Alright? So, yeah. I think Xiao, while he's really good, he's just not flexible enough. Xiao is not flexible enough to sit up at the upper, to touch S tier. Kazuha, it's debatable whether Kazuha is above Xiao or below Xiao, but I think Kazuha sits. I mean, this is not a DPS tier list. Like, look at this. Look at S tier. There's 2 DPS units. Everyone else is either a support or a support DPS. Okay, and it just comes to show how this game is developing. I think people do value supports more than they do DPS units. There's very few DPS units that can really take you to that level. That meaning if you invest in them, you don't need to be worrying about DPS for a long time. For me, I have Hu Tao, I have Ganyu. I don't think about DPS anymore. DPS doesn't come to mind anymore when I think about team building, team construction, and characters. If I'm thinking about utility, right? Who do I need? So overall, I think this is a fair tier list. It's something that gives newer players something to chase after. There's 4 stars in here. Up at the tier list, there's 5 stars, and I think some undervalued units like Xiangling definitely deserves more play. Kaya deserves some love if you don't have a good DPS right now. Build Kaya. He can carry you until you get some of the better DPS currently mentioned on the list. Okay? So, wow, that was a long video. I think we're gonna have to cut that down quite a bit. Good luck, good luck, James, my editor. Thank you guys for being here. I know I said it in the beginning, we're gonna butt heads a little bit. I mean, we didn't butt heads as much, but yeah, I think really solid. Actually, maybe one last adjustment. Maybe put Venti above Bennett so people literally don't faint. And yeah, I think it's okay. It's overall. Remember, this tier list is for people who are newer, I would say, and you're not gonna really benefit from, let's say, pulling for a child when you're really early into the game. I think this is how I would recommend people who are starting the game to search for characters. All right, to pull for characters. So that's gonna be it. Thank you all so much, and yeah, thanks chat for being here. Whew. I didn't know it was gonna end up this way, to be honest. But yeah, say bye. If you guys forgot we were making a video, say bye. Bye bye. Bye YouTube. Thank you for watching. Peace, peace. Whew. All right. So to be honest, I think, Eula needs to go up. The thing is, okay, Eula being a DPS unit, she's like, if you're gonna be a DPS unit, you better do DPS really, really, really well. For example, Diluc and Klee, them being pyro is going to just be better already comparatively to Eula. And when we're talking about replaceability, Eula is much more replaceable than, let's say, Albedo is, than, let's say, Jean is gonna be, right? It's just facts. Zhao has higher, like, consistent DPS potential than Eula. Eula is a burst physical DPS. I would say when it comes to DPS, she is more replaceable than Albedo is for a support DPS. That's why this is constructed in this way. So that's gonna be that. Let's see. Wow, how long did we take to make this tier list? It's 8:21. Excuse me? Are you for real? How long was I talking for? An hour? No way. No way. Man, this is gonna be an hour-long video? No, we need to cut that video down to like less than 20 minutes. Oh boy. I mean... Alright, what do you guys want to do? Do you guys... Okay, actually I have 49 summons. So, actually, let me make a couple announcements, okay? We're gonna be giving away, we're gonna be giving away, Kazuha. Alright, we're gonna be giving away a Kazuha during the Chinese live stream for patch 1.7. So, for the Wallet Archons who are here, I think it's Flowcat. Flowcat has said wants to do a giveaway for Kazuha. Really, really fun unit. We're gonna be doing it. We're gonna be polling for the winner during the patch 1.7 live stream for the Chinese patch 1.7 live stream. So that's probably gonna be in a week or so. So yeah. If you want to participate, stay tuned because I'm probably going to release the video and then probably have you comment on that video and I'll draw the winners live for the Chinese live stream, okay? I'll give you guys all the rules and stuff whatnot in a future video. I haven't been using any of these acquaintance fates, so let's take a look. We are at Amos Bow starting from 0. Okay, chat? You guys ready? Let's start with 5. I always start with 5. Favonius Greatsword. What a great start. 2. 3. Do you guys think I'll get a 5-star with 49? I don't think so. 4. 5. Alright. We will do 20 more polls. We'll do 25. We'll do 25 polls. So we already did 5. We're gonna do 2 more 10 pulls. A Sucrose. But I already have her. I already have Sucrose at C6, so that's not gonna matter too much. Last one. Damn. And a Shinchu. Okay, fine. I see you guys in chat. I see you guys in chat. You guys want me to use it all? I'll use it all. Fine. Fine. It's for you guys. Let's see. This is 35. Wow. Hey, these are some good weapons. Not gonna lie, these are some good weapons. 35. 45. Yo, if you ever want to flex on somebody, getting C6 Amber is one of the best ways to flex on people. Let me tell you right now, C6 Amber is going to be the hardest flex anyone can do in this game. That is baller. That is baller. That was 45, right? All right, we'll leave it at 45 because I want to leave it at a number that I can remember. Ooh. Oh. Gimme. 69. Very nice. Very, very nice. So, let's go back in. We got 9 more. Let's get it to 50. All right, let's get it to 50. Like you guys said, let's get this to 50. Come on. I don't, like, to be honest, like, what do I even need? I don't need anything. Wait, that was 4, right? No, this was 4. All right, there we go. And 50. That's 50 pulls. We are done. 50 pulls. I've been thinking whether I should be getting the weapon for Kazuha, but no. No. This weapon, I was looking at it. It's okay. It's okay. My Kazuha is using the Jade Cutter. Solid. Solid. Keqing is Keqing has went back to using the Aquila Favonia. Still really good. My Keqing is Constellation 4. Kazuha's 0. Oh, C4. C1. 0. 0. 1. 0. 0. Oh my god. Duh. I don't want to activate C6, so we're going to do that. And we are never touching Bennett's constellations ever again. So we got one more of this. Where's my Amber constellation? Oh, that is sweet. That is sweet. I actually have C6 Chongyun. I haven't activated it yet. I have C6 Traveler. I haven't activated it yet. I was able to test C6 Traveler on my girlfriend's account though. So I also tested C6 Razor. I think on my girlfriend's account. I have C4 and I do have C6. Haven't tested it her, but a lot of these characters are a lot of fun. I only have C2. Okay. So yeah. C12 Traveler. Traveler is pretty pog, to be honest. I tested it on someone else's account. Traveler is really pog. Really, like the amount of damage that people are sleeping on by not building Traveler, you're missing out on a lot. What else can I say? I am a whale. How can you have all the characters in the game and not be a whale? I am a whale. I have C4 Venti, I think. I have C4 Venti and C4 Zhongli. I don't think I'll be getting C4 on. I don't think I'll be getting C4 on who is that? The Electro Archon. It's just too expensive. It's too expensive. I think having these two are solid enough. All right, I think having these two is gonna be solid enough. But yeah, how you know what, chat? Let's talk. How has Genshin been treating you guys? You guys enjoying it? Having fun? Ayaka's coming out soon. I mean, dude, I'm so freaking excited for Ayaka. I'm also really excited for the live stream. Kazuha in 50 polls. Esther got Kazuha in 10 polls. Jeez. I mean, we did get Kazuha like within 4 polls or 5 polls from getting a Keqing. So pretty lucky for Flo. Yeah, the patch 1.7 live stream, it's gonna make or break a lot of people's spirits. Really. If Inazuma is announced, people are gonna be so damn excited. If Inazuma isn't announced, people are gonna be a little sad. But then they have to announce Ayaka and Yoimiya. That's what I think. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win. Just the fact that we know Ayaka's coming, it's already a win-win. Personally, for me, I say for Kazuha, it's elemental skill is priority, and then I go with burst skill. Because you're not going to be building Kazuha as a main DPS. So normal attack is like, okay, here's the thing. Yes, normal attack talent is important, but the biggest problem is when you're leveling up normal attack, you're also relying on those normal and charge attacks, which he's not going to be doing as much unless you're going to be building him as your main DPS. And I think the biggest misinformation is that C0 is not good as main DPS. Well, debatable. If it's a quick swap team with a very with a quick swap support DPS, you'll be fine as a main DPS, because the problem starts happening when you keep Kazuha on the field and you refuse to switch off of him as a main DPS. Then you're going to lose out on a lot of DPS. So if you're building Kazuha as your main DPS in a quick swap team, normal attack talent is going to be second in priority, and burst skill is going to be last in priority. But if you're building Kazuha as a support DPS or a support, then you're going to want to prioritize his burst skill over his talent. That does not mean ignore his normal attack talent, because his normal attack talent is still very, very important, because every time you use your elemental skill, you need a plunge. And guess what? When you level up your normal attack, that's your plunge. So it's important. It's regardless, it's going to be important, but elemental skill is going to be the most important, and then your priority starts shifting between normal attack talent versus the burst skill talent, depending on how you're playing him in your team. So that's what I meant to say. Gizmo Avalanche is asking, what would a quick swap team with Kazuha main look like? So something like this, all right? Let's go with Kazuha main DPS. Let's see, a quick swap support DPS, somebody who's out for a very short time to take advantage of the DPS window that they have. Official or... I'll show you guys in Abyss. One moment. I'll build this team and then we'll go into the Abyss and I'll show you guys how a quick swap team essentially works. We would have to use Electro Keqing if we want. Actually, yeah, let's do that. We can fit Keqing into this team. So we kind of just shifted around. This is a quick swap team. So for example, you would do this. And then now you have a shield. You can do a charge attack. You go back. You go do this. And then, but you need Electro Kaching to make this work. So we're gonna change Kaching to Electro. All right, and I'll show you guys in Abyss what a quick swap team essentially looks like. Where is it? Here. Pretty much you don't linger on any single character. You swap out immediately after you use it. Oh no. Physical damage bonus. It's alright. Aquila Favonia isn't the worst when it comes to electro damage. It's not good, but it's definitely not the worst, alright? So, this is what a quick main DPS Kazuha quick swap team would look like. No. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll just throw in someone random. It's really good actually. Quick swap team is it's Kazuha's bread and butter. So elemental mastery, we'll just take that. So you come in, you go like this. Essentially, you never hover. You never hover on a character. Now, like I said, you have the shield. And then you go like this. You just kind of repeat. His burst is almost back. And you see? This is bread and butter, really fun, very easy. You also don't give the enemies a lot of time to catch you out. And Ganyu's burst is back. That's pretty much it. It's just that. I mean, it looks chaotic, but in your mind, you kind of need to understand who comes what, who comes next, and have an internal timer of whose skill is ready. So that's pretty much it. And if you are using Kazuha in that manner, I do think doing main DPS is not going to be that... I mean, doing normal attack talent second is not going to be too bad. But yeah, it's... Even in that scenario, I think his burst skill has more merits just because it's out on the field longer, and a lot of the time in quick swap team, Kazuha, like you saw, it's not going to be on the floor a lot of the times. And yeah, I do think Bao is going to be probably more support than DPS. I do think so. I don't know if there's ever going to be an Archon that's going to be main DPS, because I think Mihoyo deep down knows that DPS meta is kind of messed up. I think Mihoyo knows that they know that DPS is in a really weird spot, and they just don't have an answer to how to fix it. Gizmo Avalanche says, would you run him more support DPS in quick swap then? Yes. Currently, I think Kazuha's best role is support DPS. In quick swap teams, Kazuha being ran in a support DPS position and just facilitate the rest of his team with EM buffing and CC. Well, I guess Pyro Archon is going to be a main DPS as she is the god of war. I really hope so. I do think it's such a shame if no Archons end up being a DPS. Just my giving my 2 cents, okay? Just giving my 2 cents. Phantom Sprite is asking, Walrus, do you think Kazuha is kind of like Albedo in a sense that they are solid or good supports? Yes, definitely. I think the biggest reason Kazuha outshines Albedo is that while Albedo only takes his geo damage to support you, Kazuha takes everyone else's elements and makes them better, right? Albedo does his support DPS job really, really well, but Kazuha not only does his job really well, but he also lifts up the rest of the team. Essentially, sometimes he can even extend certain applications out on the field longer. By essence, extending that longer, turning him into an omnipresent, all element applicator. He can applicate Cryo, he can applicate Hydro, he can applicate Electro, even though, let's say, Keqing's burst is already over and Keqing's already off the field, her Electro presence still stands on the field simply because of Kazuha. Now, that's something Albedo just cannot do. That's why I think, while they are similar, Kazuha is better. What team do I use with Kazuha? The team you're looking at right now. I use him as a support DPS to my Keqing. Currently, I run him in a team like this. 1, 2, 3. No. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's currently running as a support in my Keqing team. Is it the best team? No. I'm still working on the top 5 Kazuha team video because, listen, people, when a character like this just works with everybody, it becomes so hard to pinpoint exactly which team is better. And I do want this video to come out to have relevancy and not just like my personal preference. So it's gonna take a while to get the best Kazuha team video out because he's just so damn good with everybody. Yes, and Ram Singh is saying, and also Kazuha decreases elemental resistance with 4-piece Verdescent and increased elemental damage bonus. Exactly. So, essentially, Kazuha is like Albedo on drugs. Although Albedo probably is pretty much always on drugs, judging by his demeanor, but we're talking like, figuratively. Skylar Sue says we need more diversity in Genshin. I think MiHoYo is trying. It's just at the current meta. It's just that the current meta is stuck on the DPS meta that there's nothing really MiHoYo can do until they figure a way to kind of branch away from the main DPS meta. Then we're kind of stuck like this. Oh, I'm in black characters. We do have Jin Yan. I do think we could use more ethnic diversity. That's true in Genshin Impact. We could, but it's up to MiHoYo. I don't know what goes in when they plan for characters. But I do think each character with each region has what do you call that? What do you call that? Ethnicity influenced, right? So we're talking Liyue, you're gonna have more Chinese inspired, and of course in Inazuma you're gonna have more Japanese inspired. Well, like more back in time, right? Samurais don't exist anymore, but you get what I mean. Yoimiya, I want Yoimiya so bad. I want them all. But I've been excited for Ayaka for the longest time, so I really can't wait. I want to get my hands on Ayaka, test her, and just have fun. I think at this point, Genshin Impact has really become like a lifestyle to me, right? I don't. It's like going to the gym or playing basketball. You don't play basketball for 8 hours a day. That's just not healthy. Same with Genshin. You play basketball maybe for an hour, right? Go to the gym. Play basketball for an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and you're done. Same with Genshin. Genshin has become more of a lifestyle. And when it comes to lifestyle, you know, it's always nice to see something new. Ayaka, Yoimiya, Electro Archon, freshen things up a little bit. That's why I'm still able to make daily videos for Genshin, because I don't surround myself with Genshin. Guess what? When I'm done with this stream, I'm not gonna be continuing to play Genshin, because Genshin is you consume it in bits. That's how you continue to enjoy this game, right? And I think it's important to fit it into your life in pieces, not as a whole. So yeah. Sometimes if I really want to stay in Genshin, I'll just sit and listen to the music. Right now I have all the audio turned off because, you know, I don't want it to distract from my video to my live stream. But sometimes when I really want to stay in Genshin, I just want to chill. Do you play other games? Yes. If you guys did catch my accidental live stream last time, sorry about that for that creepy stuff. But I do play other games. I play League of Legends. I play TFT. I'm actually really interested in Lost Ark. Have you guys heard about Lost Ark? It's coming out end of this year. I want to play Lost Ark. Am I gonna make content for Lost Ark? Probably not. But I play these games to kind of wind down. As you guys saw last time, I was just playing a normal game. I was playing a normal League of Legends game, and I was watching a movie recap. That's where the creepy... You guys thought it was a creepy pasta, but it was just a movie recap. Yeah, red paint is that we were scared that you got hacked. Yeah, false alarm. Do I know Honkai Impact? Yeah, I know Honkai, but currently, when it comes to mobile games, I kind of I'm very selective in mobile games. I'm much more open to PC games. So yeah. Yeah, I was popping off. We still lost that game though. Fanta Sprite. We still lost that game. It was unlucky. Yeah, maybe in the future I'll host some custom games in League. Who do I main in League? I always my main changes. My main changes. Actually, maybe after this live stream, we'll go into Discord and I'll host a custom game in League of Legends. Have you ever played Overwatch? Yeah, I've played Overwatch. I think my peak in Overwatch was Diamond, and I couldn't anymore. It got too toxic, and it was starting to consume a lot of my life. So I stopped. Variety game stream for a week? Maybe, actually, but the thing is, when I do variety, I have to do it over on Twitch. That's the thing. So if you guys want to watch variety, we have to do it on Twitch, because YouTube is very strict on the types of content that you put out onto your channel. And if I'm consistently doing variety, then eventually there'll come a point where my live streams don't get sent out to people who are Genshin players. Yeah, but if you guys want, we can, after this live stream, maybe we can go into Discord and we can set up a custom League game, depending on who wants to join. I mean, actually, right now in chat, I'm in North America. So if you guys want to play, you have to be in North America. So people in chat right now, who's interested for a custom League game? Is R5 Lion's Roar better than C0 Primordial Jade? You mean Jade Cutter? Actually, let me take a look. No, it's not gonna be better. I was just reading it. It's not gonna be better. Jade, Primordial Jade is gonna be better at C0, and it's probably gonna outperform this Lion's Roar. But yeah, I think we're pretty much done here. We did everything. We did everything we wanted to do. Gizmo Avalanche has got to go. Well, we can call it here. I think. Thank you guys so much. I'm not gonna hold you guys here any longer than we need to. Go to bed. Have a good night. Thank you for tuning in. And I know we may not all agree on the tier list we just made, but I think for newer players, it's pushing them towards the right direction is what I'm trying to say. Okay, thank you guys so much, and I see there's still a lot of channel members who still tune into my live stream. Thank you guys for supporting me. You know, every bit really counts. It takes it a long way. Really allows me to continue to make daily videos. So thank you guys so much, and really hope you guys luck on future banners. And yeah, I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Remember, my upload times now are in the morning where I am, around like 9 a.m., 10 a.m., somewhere around that in the morning. So if you guys don't see my videos posted in the midnight anymore, or like 3 a.m. for some of you, time has changed. Changed my upload schedule. Okay? So thank you guys for the last time. I know I say this a lot, but it's been a lot of fun. See you guys next time. Peace, peace.